Lesson 5.3, it's out of order. That's a typical message that you will see displayed when a vending machine, for instance, does not work. In this lesson, we're going to look at polite requests, vocabulary related to problems and solutions, and we're going to learn how to respond to those requests. If you think about it, in functional language, it's very typical in our interactions to ask for something and to reply to that petition or request. So this is very useful in everyday language. In the first activity, you're supposed to answer the questions for these. What is the problem in each case? You will have a fill in the gaps activity in the platform. So you have 4 cases here. And in the platform, this is what you will see. In each of the gaps, you will have to put 1 or 2 words. In activity 1C, you have to look at the phrases in bold. So broken down, needs recharging, out of order, needs fixing, reception, try switching it off, keeps making this strange noise, it's crushed or frozen, it doesn't work, sort it out, save it onto a memory disk or stick, print it for you, and then you will have to decide if it's a problem or a solution. If it's a problem, like in number 1, you will write P. If it's a solution, write S. Then you're going to skip 2A, you're going to read the article, this article here, and do 2B. The article is entitled, Do You Get Angry with Your Computer? A lot of people do, I know. It says read the article and say what 4 things people do when their computer crashes, and you're supposed to fill in the gaps. In the platform, it will look like this, so you fill in the gaps with 1 word in each gap. You'll move to functions, polite requests, one of the functions that we want to see in this lesson. In activity 3A, it says listen to 4 conversations. What is the problem in each case? You will listen to the audio file by clicking here and then answer the questions that you find in activity 3A in the platform. In each gap, you will have to put 1 or 2 words here. In part 3B, it says listen again, so you're supposed to listen to that audio file 1 more time and fill in 1 word in each gap. And this is what it looks like in the platform. So this 1 corresponds to this 1, and this number 7 corresponds to this number 7 here. Finally, you are supposed to listen and repeat the requests by clicking here, letting the audio go and then repeating. Then we'll move to page 136 where the language bank is, and in part 5.3 you've got the chart for the polite requests. Here you've got a chart with the requests. Could you tell me, do you know, would you mind, followed by a verb in ing form, or would you mind booking as a table? And then the typical responses, if they are positive, yes, of course. Or if they are negative, I'm afraid I can't, I'm sorry I can't, I'm not sure, etc. Here there's a warning for you when you write indirect questions like this. Have a look at this question. Do you know something? The question is, or the main verb is know, the subject is you, and the auxiliary is do. Now, when we substitute this something for a whole sentence, a complete sentence, like, do you know where, then we don't need another auxiliary. We just need a subject and a main verb. Since it's the 3rd person singular, we'll add this. Do you know where he lives? Now, there is a tendency, a lot of people think about this. Do you know where does he live? And no, that's wrong, because this part here is not a question. The question is here, and the auxiliary goes here. Okay? So if you think about it, this is a question, this is the subject, this is the main verb, and this is like the previous something, this is the object, the whole thing. Now the fact is that the object is a whole sentence with a question word, subject, verb, and possible complements. And this is what they are telling you here. Now also be careful with these. Would you mind watering, using an ing form, not to water? Okay? Or would you mind, followed by a negative, would you mind helping me? When you finish looking at that, you're supposed to do on the next page the first activity, find the mistakes and correct them. And they tell you there's an extra word or two in each line. The platform, this is what it looks like. So you're supposed to rewrite the whole thing. For instance, 1A, excuse me, could you hold the door for me? You rewrite it, excuse me, could you hold the door for me? And so on and so forth, respecting these. And you need to be careful also with the question marks and the punctuation marks that I include there. Okay. Then we'll go back to page 63 and focus on activity number 4. The platform, this is what it looks like, okay? And what you have to do is read the conversation extracts from the previous activity and complete the responses with the phrases in this box. You have yes, I can, I'm not sure, I'm afraid I can't. Yes, of course, this means 2 times you're going to use it. Of course, no, sure, okay, let me have a look. So what you're supposed to do is fill them in these gaps. For instance, number 1 would be, I'm not sure here. Okay, number 2 here would correspond to the response that you're going to put in that gap. So you'll transport it here to the platform, etc. Then you've got activity 5D, 5A and B actually, in which you have to make polite requests using the words within the brackets and no more. So this is how it looks like in the platform, and with these words, would, mind, turn music down, you turn that into would you mind turning the music down? Okay, and then you'll have to write the response to that. Well, the response is actually short, sorry about that. Then you've got number 2, and you have to do the same. We do know if anyone in the office, okay? Which is a continuation of I need to speak to the manager, etc.